case briefs, and so much more. LSData's got what you're looking for.
In a landmark ruling, the Court of Appeal of the State of California extended the guarantees of potential reparations for victims of domestic abuse in the case of Pugliese versus Superior Court. The judgment, delivered in 2007, emphasized the victim's right to recover damages for all incidents of domestic violence during the marriage, provided a continuous pattern of abusive conduct could be demonstrated. At the heart of this case was Michelle, who sued her ex-husband Dante for acts of domestic violence that spanned the entirety of their marriage. The pivotal question that drove the lawsuit was whether Michelle was entitled to compensation for episodes of violence that took place more than 3 years prior to the filing of her complaint. In its ruling, the Court of Appeal bestowed victims of domestic abuse the right to restitution for all occurrences of violence during the marriage, granted that they could establish a systematic undertone of abusive behavior. The background of the case reveals that Michelle and Dante got married in January 1989, but the bliss was shortly lived as the abuse started just a few months into their union. In April 2002, Michelle filed for divorce and launched a lawsuit against Dante for assault, battery, emotional distress, and violation of civil rights. Dante, in defense, argued that the statute of limitations barred Michelle from seeking damages for any acts of violence that happened more than 3 years prior to the filing of the complaint. The trial court sided with Dante. Pushed to the edge, Michelle then sought to overturn the trial court's decision, and Judge Chavez issued a majority opinion. He explained that Michelle had every right to challenge the Superior Court's order that excluded instances of domestic violence that happened more than 3 years prior to her filing the complaint. Upon careful exploration of the statute of limitations, the court utilized the continuous tort doctrine, implying the limitations period does not start ticking until the very last act of violence, thereby allowing Michelle and similarly situated victims to file claims within 3 years from the last reported incident of domestic violence. The ruling reshaped the landscape of domestic violence legal recourse, with California Civil Code Section 1708.6 reinforcing the court's decision. Consequently, the court overruled the trial court's decision, and a writ of mandate was awarded to Michelle, correcting the prior misjudgment. This prominent case set in motion a more thoughtful consideration of domestic abuse cases, acknowledging not just the isolated incidents, but also the persistent cycle of abuse that victims endure.
Case briefs, and so much more. LSData's got what you're looking for. Visit lsd.law, elevate your mind. Leave the stress of class.